All right. So again, Happy New Year. So today is our kickoff meeting for 2024. So how many of you are thrilled that 2023 is over? Woo. We're just like, let's put that year behind us, right? So, but yeah, so super excited we have Doug Pitts is going to be speaking today as well, giving 15 minutes of his prospecting power tips. So thank you so much for your time, Doug. We appreciate it. And then we have other guests that will be here sharing all their wisdom and thoughts for a successful 2024. Okay, hey Doug, what's our motivational minute? What's the quote right here?
Hey, I gotta see that.
You have to come up.
Yeah, I'm old. Every resolution should be felt this year and some of what you can do.
Okay, so I'll say that so you guys all can hear it. Every year you make a resolution to change yourself. This year, make a resolution to be yourself.
Oh, bad.
Woo! That's kind of a drop the mic, right? What does that mean to you, Doug?
I think do what you need to do that you know you're able to do this year. So don't always think about what you want to change. Do what you know you can do.
I like that. That's awesome. Thank you. Steve Sachs, what does that mean to you?
That you matter, and people want to know the real person who you are, and don't be fake or trivial, because people can breathe through that.
Yep.
You're just cliche.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it's really showing up as your authentic self, right? Like as Steve just said, people can tell if you're being authentic, if you're being genuine, if you're being, someone who you're not. It goes positively and it goes negatively. So really, just be you. Just be you.
You're enough. You don't have to change.
That's right. Exactly. Okay, let's just jump in, everybody. So, broker moment with Mr. Rich Pisani.
Happy New Year, everybody. Just a like a month or so ago, I went over some new laws that took effect in 2024. But I'm getting a lot, not only from this office, but from a lot of offices, a lot of questions regarding the security deposit. The law that went into effect regarding the security deposit on leases. First off, that does not take effect until July 1st. And all security deposits will be 1 month's rent. As of July 1st, on a new lease, it has to be 1 month's rent, except if you are a mom and pop organization who only has 1 or 2 properties, then you are exempt from that, and it goes back to the 2 months rent for unfurnished and 3 months for furnished. And for military personnel, it's 1 month's rent regardless. So, but remember, that does not go into effect until July 1st of this year. The other thing does anybody have any questions regarding that?
What about renewals?
No, it doesn't. If there's an existing lease, it doesn't apply. But that's the other thing about leases, is that leases cannot no longer be more than 2 years. You can't write a lease more than 2 years. That's a California law, starting January 1st. So, yeah. So, the other thing I wanted to mention is that, I get a lot of this from outside brokerages and some, unfortunately, inside of our brokerages TCs are great. They're there to collect to get your transaction in order, make sure you're compliant and all that. But you are ultimately the person responsible for that transaction. Please do not leave the onus on the TC. We are ongoing on a lawsuit that's been going on for 2 years because an agent represented a buyer who flipped a property, excuse me, and when they were the buyer, they did a foundation inspection, and then when they went to sell it, that foundation inspection wasn't turned over to the new buyer, and we're in a big lawsuit now because of it. And the excuse was, well, my TC usually takes care of that. That's not that person is paid. I don't even know what a TC, when I was doing it, it was $350. So I don't even know what a TC gets anymore. But that person gets probably under $500. And that person's going to be responsible for, liable for this. No, it's your transaction. This is a convenience that you hire somebody to do your files, collect them, but that's what they're there for. That's all they're there for. You are ultimately responsible for making sure that that file is compliant and the disclosures are made and whatnot. So I just wanted to put that out there. That's it for me.
Okay, awesome. Any questions for Rich while we have him?
Hi, Rich. Hi, everybody. Can I ask a question?
Sure, Susie.
Happy New Year to you all. Sorry, I'm not there present, but I live in Glendale, so it's a long traffic drive. So Rich, I understand now that there's a new law that LA has for sellers or any sellers to sign their grant deed over Zoom and notarize it for the sellers who are out of the country.
No, here's what it is basically, is that the law they have passed the law to allow online notaries. That's what that's about. But those notaries have to follow steps that are certified with the state. Now, the state, I don't even think have come up with what the requirements are going to be. So I haven't seen any online notaries as of yet, but this is the first step that and if you can find one that is approved by the state and will allow it, then all power to you. But I haven't seen it. But this is the first step in allowing online notaries. Other states have it. We are just starting. We're in the infantile system, and they're figuring out what will be required for that. But I haven't seen it done or approved yet.
Because I have a situation like that currently where my seller's out of the country, and title just told me that that's a new 2024 law in California that LA has approved.
If title can find somebody that's approved to do that, all power to them. But I haven't heard anybody who has been.
So what is the other solution? That's not the case. What do we do?
Well, we've talked about this, Susie. The
Oh, yeah.
solution is that your guy has to go to the embassy.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Thank you. Christine.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm not there. I planned on being there, but my son had a doctor's appointment, and Happy New Year. Rich, just real quick, I just wanted to verify something because I heard something different about the rental security deposit this time. You're saying mom and pop, so like a landlord owns one rental property. Is anything changing then? Because I'm hearing,
No, it's
so
not.
it's exactly the same. Okay, that's what I
Right.
thought. I just wanted to verify that. So it's still the first month's rent, 2 months security. I did read something else too about other properties. If that the landlord already had, say they own multiple and they have received the 2 months security, that going forward they needed to pay interest. Is that correct or something about interest?
No, this law goes into effect this year on new leases. So if there is interest in the law, which I don't remember seeing interest in the law, I'll have to look at it. If there's interest involved in the law, then that would apply to everything going forward starting July 1st.
Okay, yeah, that's what I had heard, but thank you. And so everything
And-
stays the
and-
same for solos.
Right, right.
Okay, thank
And
you. Thank you.
remember, it's a total of $1,000 or presently $2,000. And so that doesn't mean if your landlord wants to charge a pet deposit, which I don't see why anybody would charge a pet deposit, it doesn't make sense. But if they want to charge a pet deposit, that has to be part of that $2,000 presently or $1,000 in the future. That has to be, factored in. It can't be $1,000 plus a pet deposit. Pet deposits don't make sense. Here's why. I've said this to many agents. The pet deposit limits the damage to the pet. A deposit has the damage, all damage, even from the pet. So why a separate pet deposit? It's covered in the main deposit. So that's it.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Rich. Thanks, Christine.
Thanks.
Corinne?
Piggybacking on Christine, Rich, what is considered a mom and pop? What's the maximum number of properties?
1 to 2. 1 to 2.
Oh, okay, to 2, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have
awesome.
a, I have a question.
Okay,
Is it true that you cannot charge a pet deposit for emotional support animal?
That is true. You cannot. It's not a pet. It's an emotional support animal.
And you refuse to leave it to a company.
Or a service animal. You can't charge a pet deposit for a service animal.
Do they need to show some sort of doctor's report for that, Rich?
The CER, go to CER.org. There's a great article about what needs to be, what documentation and what questions you can ask for service animals and emotional support animals.
okay, awesome. All right. Thank you, Rich Pisani. We appreciate you immensely. Okay. Oh, and your class.
Yes, there was only one new form, and that's been bundled with the RPA. I can't even remember what it was. It's the yeah, I can't remember, and I thought I had it here. But it's bundled with the RPA. It's just an advisory form. But several other forms have been revised. Some are little, some like the RR has been revised and stuff like that. And I'm gonna go over what those revisions are. So that'll be tomorrow at 4.
All right, awesome. Okie dokie, let's move on. Thank you, Rich. Okay, so just a couple announcements before we get to the meat and potatoes. So 2024 family reunion. The prices are currently $8.99. It's in Vegas. The 25th through the 29th. Tony Robbins will be there. Mel Robbins will be there. So there's the QR code for you to go. There's already a handful of us going, so we'd love to, I think there's some special event maybe happening in Vegas as well. So Melina, I don't think she's here. I didn't see her walk in, but congratulations on your first closing. Oh, I'm super excited to get that first check. So that's kind of hard to read. Welcome to our Keller Williams Calabasas family. Lucy, yay! Congratulations, Cameron, and then Jacqueline. So congratulations and welcome. We're super excited for your future. Okay, so are you ready? Happy. Come here, Eileen. Oh, you're taping. I can't do it here. Can you do it? Go like that. Don't go like that. Great, don't point that at my face.
2 hands are better than.
I know, right? So, happy New Year. I hope everybody's been off to a great start for 2024. And I can't thank you enough for the 2023, the 2022, the 2021, the 20, the 2019, and then everybody, all the time that you guys, for some of you that were here even before then. So excited for us all to be together. So let's take a look at where we have been and everything that we have overcome. Because it seems like ever since March of 2020, we've been on this hamster wheel, going. This happens, that happens, right? We're learning how to pivot, so on and so forth, right? So, hey, Ryan. So let's just talk about some things, because everything that we have been and everything we have overcome over the last 4 years has set the stage and the strength for us in 2024. Do you agree?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you. So what were all the crazy shadizzle that happened in 2020? Okay, in 2020, because this is, everything has set the stage, right? Because really, it's an Olympic year. We have the 2024 Olympics in Paris, right? They were really supposed to be in LA, but we weren't ready, right? And then we and really this year, we'll talk about it a little bit more, it's survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest, right? So 2020, what did we have to overcome? COVID, riots, George Floyd, the world changed as we knew it. Hey, even Meghan Markle and Prince Harry stepped down from the royalty. Remember that? And then the passing of Kobe, West Coast fires, more and more. I mean, we just had, as soon as March 20, we started doing real estate differently, right? So if you can remember having to change like that when COVID hit and like, okay, what are we going to do, and not worrying about necessarily the changes that we had to make, but knowing that you just had to pivot, right? And that's what we have to do today. So 2021, a historical year in real estate. Historical. People had massive years. We had the most closed units in history. So historical year in real estate. We pulled out of Afghanistan. We had the lowest interest rates in history. The January 6th insurrection, Biden inaugurated, all that kind of shit is all right. Okay, we keep our political views to ourselves right now. So, but what was interesting in 2020, it was an election year. And what are we in again right now? Right? So we know that crazy stuff can happen. We're just all kind of like, okay, what's on the horizon? But we got to focus on us, right? We focus on each of you individually, and then we focus on us as a team, as a group. We're going to be the Super Bowl. We are the Super Bowl champions, right? So in 2022, we were off to another record year for the first few months, right? Then interest rates decided to come in and play a factor, right? The quickest and largest rate hike in history, right? We fell off, the real estate industry fell off a cliff in July of 2021, right? It was, in 2022, sorry. Right? So it was just like, okay, what the hell's happening right now? So we have to talk to we learned a new way to have conversations with our clients, right? Showing them value, showing, hey, because no matter what, right? People are always going to be buying and selling. It's a matter of having all those conversations, etc. Right? So 2022, like I said, off to a record year, the interest rates, the quickest and largest rate hike in history. Industry fell off the cliff. Then we had the Winter Olympics. Do you guys remember the baby formula shortage? Oh, I forgot in 2020 the toilet paper shortage, right? And one of the most famous things that happened in 2022 is when Will Smith hit Chris Rock. The slap heard around the world, right? All the silly stuff that, especially in LA. Then we go into 2023, right? What do y'all think of 2023? Yeah, so we had people rocket, right? Because remember, you can increase your business in a down market, right? You guys don't have to, we've spoken about this throughout the different team meetings. You don't have to follow the trend, right? You have to be careful about the noise that's out there. You guys get to create your own story. It doesn't have to be their story, right? So 2023, lack of inventory, which we've been dealing with for a long time. Interest rates still high, uncertainty throughout real estate in the world, the NAR lawsuit ruling, Israel, Gaza, the whole 9 yards, right? So there's just all that stuff, but the point of it is, right, there's stuff always happening. Right? We're not immune to it. No one's exempt from it. Like Tony Robbins said, he goes, none of us are exempt from problems. Right? None of us are exempt from life happening. Life just happens. Life just happens. So, and then with all that stuff that happened in the last 4 years, newsworthy, we all had our own personal stuff too, right? We deal with the stuff that happens in the world, and then we deal with the stuff that happens personally. But what we do and how we tackle it and the mindset and the approach and the reaction is all dependent upon ourselves, correct? So we can either sit and go cry in the corner, and if you want to sit and cry in the corner for a few minutes, then you can have your pity party. We all do, right? But then you brush it off and you go do you, right? So we always expect, so anyway, I'm sorry. Now let's get ready for another wild ride in 2024. Does that sound like fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? We get to go create our new history, the new world. Think, speak, and act differently. How are you going to shift to this skill-based business? Right? How are you going to shift? We've been talking about it for a while, that you have to have the skills. So basically, how serious are you taking your business? Right? How serious are you taking your business? How serious are you taking your dreams? How serious are you taking yourself? Right? So that's only, right? That's only you can answer that question. So what are you going to do to set yourself apart from the other agents? It's time for you to be exceptional. Not- It's time for you to be exceptional. And for all of you, you all are exceptional. So what are you going to do to take it to the next level? Right? What are you going to do? So always expect the unexpected, right? Always expect the unexpected, which means be prepared and be ready. So what can you do to be prepared and be ready? Like in just a few minutes, Doug's going to share with you his prospecting techniques, so on and so forth, right? He's been in the business for a long period of time and he still does the basics. Some of you are new to the business and you don't even want to do the basics. Right? You're just like, oh, what's the magic pill? What can I do? There's got to be some little thing that I can do to do business. No, it's doing the basics. Talking to people, having real estate conversation on a daily basis. On a daily basis, you be active prospecting, not passive prospecting, right? You can have, I guess prospecting is a 4-letter word now. We can't really say that. It's not, it's, I don't know, we'll just leave it alone. Okay. So here we are, another year is here. It's an Olympic year, which means survival of the fittest, right? Physically, emotionally, and mentally. This is one of the most critical times in real estate history, right? We have no idea where, we just have no idea what's ever going to happen, but we are the ones that are responsible. We are the ones that are powerful to make sure that we keep the integrity of our real estate industry. We're not going to have some of these other people come and make significant changes. So when we talk about survival of the fittest, right? It is not, this is blurry, sorry. It's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. To change. So I know sometimes change is difficult. I get it. I understand. But if you want to adapt to the real estate industry as it's changing, you have to change. Like, for example, we have the iPhones and the Android. Whoever had a BlackBerry?
BlackBerry.
I thought it was the coolest shit, right? With my BlackBerry phone, I'm like, yeah, get my little pencil out, right? Okay, they did not change. Oh, what? Alan Rosenberg, were you gonna say something?
Oh, no,
Okay.
sorry.
He just rolled over in bed.
Like
I'm
that.
sorry, somebody woke me up. Sorry, what? Just kidding.
Yeah, so they did not adapt to change, right? Especially the older we get, the longer it takes us to make change. If there's certain things that you do that works for you, then that's fine as long as you do it. Right? As long as you do it. So mindset, you hear me talk about mindset continually throughout the year. It is imperative that you continually work on this. The strength of your mindset, mental is paramount, in addition to the strength of your body and health. When your mindset is strong, this creates the ripple effect in every area of your life. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
You can think yourself healthy or you can think yourself sick. Right? So what is in your head, what is in your mind, right, that is creating your day for you? Because remember the bold lie, I always bring up what, if you you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Right? So it's very, and I could tell last year, right, that things were really, really getting tough for some agents, right? Because little personalities would change a little bit, you know, people will be short-tempered, so on and so forth, right there. Because of the outside stress, sometimes it comes out differently. Right? So it's a matter of just we have to be kind, we have to be nice, we can't play victimhood. We just have to make sure that we're strong here, however you have to do that, whether it's affirmations, right? Podcasts, reading book, I don't care, right? Just go working out, swimming, whatever it is that's for you. Be intentional in the tasks that you're doing. Hold on, let me take a sip. Be intentional about the tasks that you're doing. You have to act like a hunter. Right? It is important now more than ever for you to get outside of your comfort zone. Right? To get out of your comfort zone, to do the things that are outside of you, and the growth will continue. The growth will be so significant in your life. So your schedule, what will cause you to take significant, sustained action? Designing your day, your environment, life priorities, skill development, prospecting, lead follow-up, setting appointments, get contracts signed, process manage transactions, close. On your day, what time does it begin and what time does it end? And when you are going to do your schedule, when you're looking at your schedule, remember it's fluid. Just because you write it down, you're like, oh my God, I got to do it this way. No, you don't have to do it anyway. You do you on your schedule, but the first thing I want to make sure that you have in there is stuff for you. Stuff for you. You have to take care of you first before you can take care of anybody else, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
So, like, what time do you get up in the morning and get,
5:40.
and then what do? Jump in the pool immediately?
Yeah, I work out. Yeah, I do some sort of work.
Yeah. And then you do triathlons? Yeah, I mean, he's constantly working on his physical being, so he's healthy and can counteract all this shit that's going around, right? So it's a matter of keeping your immune system up so you can maintain your energy. And Lynette's always at the gym, and Jeremy, this other guy that's on mindset all the time, is always at the gym, right? It just helps with your immune system. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that one in a little bit.
Meet people there.
Oh, and you meet people. That's right, you can have real estate conversations. So remember, we don't have a crystal ball. How many times do people say, well, what's gonna happen in the market? Well, shit, you know, I don't know. Right, but we can say what we are hearing, what the economists are saying, you know, we focus on what you can control. So if we talk about mortgage, Scott will be talking about mortgage in a little bit, so will Cindy. So the outlook for the mortgage interest rate in 2024 suggests a general trend of decline, right? But they vary, right? So how many times we can go look at this website, it says one thing, this website says another. Just like sometimes people say, oh, red wine's good for you, coffee's good for you. Well, no, it's not good for you. I mean, you just don't know, right? But what we have been told, so I'm just going to share a couple things with you. Homebuyer.com forecast, a forecast compiled over 4,000 daily mortgage rates and market events, predicts that the mortgage rates for 2024 might average around 4.25%. How awesome would that be? we would be 2021 all over again. Right? So general expectation of decline, forecasters in general expect mortgage rates to fall in 2024, though the significant drop might not start immediately in January. Right? National Association of Realtors Outlook, the NAR, who stepped down? Someone stepped down.
Teresa.
Yeah.
Yeah, the president.
Our NAR's relatively optimistic forecast predicting that 30-year mortgage rates will be around 6% in 2024. In contrast, Fannie Mae's forecast is slightly higher, with rates falling between 6.7 and 7.1. Fannie Mae economists expect the 30-year fixed mortgage rate to average 6.6 in the fourth quarter of 2023, then gradually decrease to an average of 5.9 in the fourth quarter. Right? A couple more. Greg McBride from Bank Rate expects mortgage rates to fall gradually throughout 2024, reaching about 5.75 by year end. Redfin's Outlook predicting rates ranging from 5.5 to 7. So it will be interesting. Look there's a variety of things people don't know. Right? People don't know. I mean, there could be some crazy thing happen. We're hoping, based on it being an election year, that they will, there's talk of soft landing, not a soft landing, all this, there's all this stuff that's going on. So that's it. We don't know. Basically, other than they'll probably go down a little bit, but don't quote me. So back to the rest of my little speech here, so I can get us to Doug Pitts. Be kind, be positive, don't play the victim. Treat others as you would want to be treated. Right? We're all grown adults. We're all professionals, and we're here. Well, except for Steve. He's grown, but he's not an adult. So we just want to make sure that, because we are all in this together, right? We're all in this together. So let's just do everything we can to lift each other up and support one another. Like I said, take care of yourself. Energy management. To be our best, we must rest. If your body's telling you, hey, I need a little flip and break, then take a little break. And don't guilt yourself while you're doing it, right? So with energy management, it's be careful what you eat, what you drink. I was gonna be a smart ass, but I said not to. Okay, what we watch, age, exercise, sleep, what we listen to, who we hang out with, stress, and then what are your priorities? Everything is a choice. We make a gazillion choices each and every day. Is it moving you forward? Is it keeping you stagnant? Or is it setting you back? Right? So everything is a choice. What are your priorities? Stay out of the noise. Stay out of the noise. Okay, I had a hard time. There was, there's always stuff going on, right? Last year I had a hard time staying out of the noise from time to time, right? Because there's a ton of it. So stay out of the noise. Protect your mind, your body, your soul, right? And just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. So reflect on 2023, then leave what happened in it behind, learn from it, focus on today and what you're creating, what is a perfect day for you. 2 hours a day of prospecting. You can, with 2 hours a day of prospecting, you have the life of your dreams. 2 hours. Some of you guys don't even want to do 15 minutes. 2 hours out of 24. Prospecting or talking to people, real estate conversations, right? That's your job. You guys get that? Right? You gonna talk about that? That's your job. Right? So this is the core of your business. Did you do a business plan for 2024? If not, why not? Then flip and get it done. Okay? So you know what you're doing, what you're focusing on. Okay? So take action. Action is the only truth. Do you have the faith and confidence in yourself? Well, damn it, you should. Because you all are amazing, powerful individuals. You're welcome. We are all in this together. We want more people like you in this market center. Right? We're very picky. We don't take on everybody. Right? Because we're protective of our culture here. Right? And if there's a negative Nancy or negative Ned, it's like, guts to go. Right? We did everything we could to really build a strong foundation in this office. And now it's time to be $1 million market center, which means profit for each and every one of you. So, What can I do better for you as a TL in 2024? We'll not have this conversation at this moment. There's a list of them. Okay, what do you think we need in the market center for 2024? So as I work alongside all of you as your TL, I'm going to be seeking ongoing from you what myself and the market center can do in areas that we can improve. So I'm going to be doing a SWOT analysis with for the ALC retreat, and then have the ALC member present at a team meeting. So as I wrap up here, let's go win this year together. Win this year together. More profitability allows for more opportunity. So the more profitable that we are, the more resources we can bring into the office, the more market share we have, the more it's nice getting those profit share checks. Right? So let's kick some ass, right? We're gonna have an unprecedented year. Challenge we've never met before, but we're gonna go to war and we're gonna win this together.
Yeah.
So I love you all. Thank you so much for excited for 2024. And you guys ready for Mr. Doug Pitts?
Yeah.
Come on down.
What's the number one thing you've forgotten about this year?
What's that?
We get a free day.
We get a free day?
Yeah, free day. We get an extra day.
Oh, we do.
So what are you gonna do that day? You take vacation, you gonna work? What are you gonna do?
That's
What are
right.
you gonna do?
Make a baby.
I'm gonna be in Vegas.
Make a baby. Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Would that be awesome? I wonder how much money I would get for that.
Yeah. So you get a free day, so that's pretty good.
Was that Steve who said that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, who I'm talking to is everyone that's been in the year 5 years or less, because everyone else knows what they're doing already. So every year I do my goals on what I want to do for the full year, and my goals are always income goals. And then it starts from income, unfortunately, because that's where it starts, and then you figure out how you get there. So in my life, I have 3/8 in every day. So there's 8 hours of sleeping, there's 8 hours of Doug time, and there's 8 hours of working. So I got 3/8, that's 24, right? So everyone should be able to work 8 hours in one day. So I always figure in that 8 hours that I'm working, how many are those I'm actually gonna work? So you have to prospect, you have to decide when you're prospecting, how many hours you're gonna work. So I always, 2 hours is a good one, but you have to back into your prospecting. So everyone has to decide how many deals are you gonna do this year? Does everyone here have how many deals they're gonna do? Raise your hand if you know how many deals you're gonna do. So if your hand's not raised, you shouldn't be here. Honestly, you should go home and make a goal on how many deals you're gonna do this year. And then out of those deals, let's just say you're gonna do 20 deals. Out of those 20 deals, 2 of them are gonna come from your family and friends, right? So that means you have to find 18 new deals. So if you're 5 years or less, you need to find 18 new deals. So how I do my deals, like I want to do 20 new transactions this year. I want to sell 20 houses to people that I don't know. I like to sell 50 to people I do know. So there's 70, but I want to do 20 brand new ones. So if you want to do 20 brand new deals, 5 days a week, you have to talk to 20 brand new people a day. And then you go, oh, that's going to take 2 hours. That doesn't matter how long it's going to take. You have to do 20 new contacts a day. And how I used to do it when I was 5 years or less is I used to put 20 beans in my pocket, 20, beans from the grocery store. I put 20 beans in this pocket, and when I knock on a door, I drop a bean. I knock on a door, I drop a bean. And then at the end of the night, if I come home, there's a bean in my pocket, oh shit, then I call somebody. So you have to get those 20 prospects out every single day, 5 days a week. If you do 20 new a day, you'll do 20 new deals. And then you have about 2 hours that, then you have to do 2 hours of follow-up on all week's prospecting. Because if you don't do follow-up, you're not going to go, the prospecting is for nothing. I'd rather prospect than do follow-up. If I have 30 leads, I'd rather get 20 more leads, because prospecting is fun, follow-up sucks, but you have to do both. And all this other stuff that everyone's talking about, I'm hearing all these questions about deposits and all this bullshit you guys are talking about. I'm like, God, none of that matters in real estate. only thing that matters in real estate is prospecting. That's the only thing. You guys are talking about, well, 2 months and a pet deposit and all this. I'm like, who gives a shit? What are you guys even talking about? I mean, I get it that it might be interesting, but it's really, we're only here to prospect and lead follow-up. Nothing else matters. Your listing presentation matters. You know, there's a lot of things that do matter. Does your open house signs pretty? All that other stuff. I get it. But if you prospect 2 hours or how many leads you want to get a day, and you do the lead follow-up, all that other shit doesn't matter. And then you go, well, I need my good listing presentation. Absolutely. When you get 3 listing appointments and you only get 1 of them, yeah, that sucks. You did all that work and you only got 1. Yeah, so you need better listing presentation. Oh, when I have an appointment, yeah, there's a lot of things that do go into it, and that's why you guys have all these classes and everything else to help you with that. But don't go to a class for a listing appointment unless you're going to do your lead follow-up that day. Don't do anything other than lead follow-up and prospecting. The first thing that you need to do when you plan your day every day is go, what am I going to do for prospecting? And people just go ahead and they get in, they do this office meeting, they talk about deposits, they talk about everything else, and they go out on caravan and they do all this stuff, and their day's filled up. There's only 8 hours of working, and they filled up that 8 hours with bullshit. It's just crazy to me. I walk in the office and there's a lot of hardworking people here, and I really love our office. But I look around and I go, that person ain't doing shit all day. I saw them, I walked in 3 times and they're still working on that thing over there. And I'm like, God, they're gonna have the best flyer in the world. Too bad no one's ever gonna see it.
Right.
Yeah. Forty contacts a day. What is that contact look like?
20 new contacts.
20 new contacts. Yeah, so I don't know what yours is. So how many deals do you want to do next year? 15? 15 new deals. So 15 new deals. So you need to talk to somebody about buying or selling real estate. So if, like, I'll do it differently. Like, I like door knocking. Door knocking is the best. It's the easiest. You get out there. The first door sucks. The second door is easier. Then after that, it's fine. But I like prospecting doors or cold calling. But basically, you just have to ask someone, hey, I just sold a house down the street. Do you care to know what it sold for? And they go, no. Then you just pass on. So as soon as you talk to them, and of course, everyone will always say yes. If I'm a real estate agent and you said to me, hey, Doug, I just sold a house down the street. Do you care to know what it sold for? Sure, why not? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's interesting. Then you ask the next question. Have you guys ever thought about selling? If you're going to move, where would you move to? When would that be? Blah, blah, blah. So you just ask the same question. And if they have any interest, or they're nice or anything else, or you think there's something in the past, write down their address or write down the address from cold calling and put it in your monthly mail out that costs you what, 20, 30 cents, whatever it is to send a postcard to them forever. And then you can call them again in 6 months, whatever. So that's one. So that we just talked about that whole thing. We did the whole script. What was that? Minute and a half? So you should be able to do 20 or something in 2 hours, right? Does that answer your question?
Yes.
All right. So when I'm doing my new year, I plan my day for prospecting and lead follow-up. And then that's 4 hours, right? And I got 4 hours left. The other 4 hours is going to be actually doing my job. Oh, trying to show a property, going on listing appointments and everything else. And if I don't have showing appointments or things that do my job in this, I'm done. At my age and how many years I've been doing real estate, after I get that stuff done, I'll go home. I'll go do something I want to do. I'll go surfing. I'll do whatever makes Doug happy. So in your schedule, you need to put 5 days of working in for positive 5 years and under. When you're older and you have businesses coming in, say like during those good times, hello, this is Doug. Yeah, I'll be right over. That was my prospecting. It was awesome. But now you actually have to work. So you plan the 5 days, and I think you should take 2 days off personally. But you have to take at least 1 full day off a week. You have to complete it. I'm not saying you can't answer the phone or something like that, or answer a text message, but plan your schedule where someone goes, hey, I want to see property, blah, blah, blah. Always say what I do. Someone goes, hey, I want to see the property Saturday. I go, hey, let's go see it right now. Hey, let's go see it tomorrow. Hey, let's go see it in the morning. Hey, guess what? They will say yes. You don't have to stack your day on a Saturday. If someone wants to, today's a Wednesday and they want to see a property on Saturday, let's say see it tonight. Time kills deals. Let's go see it now. And that's how you do your schedule. But plan your schedule, prospecting, lead follow-up, real estate shit. That's it. That's the only thing that has to be in there. That's your 8 hours. Then I have 8 hours for myself in the day. I get to work out. I get to do, whatever I want to do, spend time with my family, my grandkid, whatever I want to do. That's my 8 hours. And then I have 8 hours of sleep. Sleeping is the most important thing to me is 8 hours. I have to get 8 hours of sleep. If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, then everything else sucks. So that's how I plan my 3/8. Any questions? Yes.
What's the favorite book you've read?
Oh, gosh.
Come on, I wanna mess-
I don't read books.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Cartoons.
No, actually, the last book I read was Rich Man Poor Dad. I just really liked it. Yeah, that was a really great book. I listened to it, by the way. Yes.
Did you say that you cold plunge every morning?
I do not cold plunge every morning. She's a liar because I surf and that's my cold plunge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So what's the number one thing and the most consistent thing people are saying to you when you do get a hold of in front of them, when you do door knock? When they get, what are they saying to you? Are they asking about interest rates? Are they concerned about where they move to, or?
It's always whatever the going thing is at the time, because there's always something, right? Interest rates or something else. But people want to know what the neighborhood's going for. So that's why I always lead in. I just sold the house down the street. So you care to know what it sold for. Then they want to know what's going on in the neighborhood. And you always go, that one sold for 800, but your house is nicer. Yours is probably worth more, blah, blah, blah. But they always want to know what the neighborhood's going for. That's the number one thing. And if they're not thinking of selling, what's the interest rate?
As a door knocker, just to follow up, what should those three things be that you have, if anything, other than that response, that you're going into the neighborhood armed with, like what the
Comps.
average comps?
Yeah, comps are, you always want to know what's going on in the neighborhood, because if I don't have a listing or a sale, I'm lying, or not lying, what's better word? Embellishing, great word. I'm gonna take a sold comp, the last sold comp in the neighborhood, and say, we, as a real estate industry, just sold the house down the street, sold for 800,000. You care to know what, the house is sold, you care to know it's sold 800,000, blah, blah. So you use that comp because we as an industry sold it. It wasn't a for sale by owner. It wasn't, a wholesaler. It wasn't anything like that. So I use that. So the comps, I always leaded a pad of paper, no matter what. Because if I knock on the door and no one's home, I drop off the pad. So at least they know I was out there.
All right, so for you speak to 20 people per day, and you primarily do that through door knocking. For the agents that are 5 years or under, I mean, obviously, going through your database and reaching out to the people that you already know are great. But for the people that have been doing it less than 5 years, in addition to door knocking, what are other ways that they can reach 20 people a day?
So for me, if I want 20 new deals, no, I'm doing 20 new people. I still want the 30 or 40 that I'm gonna get by sitting on my ass. I want the new stuff.
Right.
So for people, door knocking is obviously the easiest and cheapest because all you need is a business card, and knocking costs you nothing. Everyone can afford door knocking. The next one is cold calling. Super easy. And people go, oh, you're not allowed to cold call. If someone says they're on the list, go, sorry, I'll take you off the list. Who gives a shit? You never call them again anyways.
Right.
So cold calling is really good. And then you can go ahead and go to events or anything else, like people like doing events and going and talking to people that way. And then, there's no, as Steph said, there's no magic bullet out there. People go, oh, I'm gonna start doing Google ads. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you might get a response on it. If you get one response on something, bitch it, add it to the arsenal. But that's not the way you're gonna prospect. Yeah.
What do you send out? You said you do a monthly mailing. What do you?
So 36 years, I've been doing the same monthly mail out. The shitty part and the good part about it is I have it automatically, it goes out to everyone that I've ever sold a house to. And any of my new leads or anything from door knocking. So I always add to it. So they always get something. The negative part is, as soon as it goes out, if someone moves, I get the forwarding address sent back to me. So now, you know what happens when you get a forwarding address sent back to you? It sucks. So every time I see that stack come in, I'm like, oh, I hope it's one of my sales. So it just sucks, but you have to mail. It's a newsletter. It's just one I just paid for, and I paid for it. It's called Personal Marketing Company. It's super cheap, and they send stupid little recipes and stuff. And every month it goes out, I get some smart ass that says something. It's milk. Yeah, it's going boom. It's super cheap and it's literally, I get a text message every month from somebody regarding the stupid recipe. And then every year I do calendars to everybody. Yeah, I'm taking you off.
Good idea.
Thank you. Write that down for me. It's just smart ass. Oh, Doug, oh, I like the crumbs on the blah, 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 you know. Yeah, the recipe. Yeah.
Doug, you cook?
Yes, I'm a cook. My wife doesn't cook.
No, it's not.
When you're door knocking, are you just looking for the now business, like right now? Do
You
have
know
follow-up
what,
on-
you know my answer. I'm looking for the now business. I'm looking for someone that's thinking about buying or selling now. You know, if someone goes, oh my God, in 2 years, my kid's gonna be out of school. Like, I don't give a shit. You know,
don't put
2
them
years
on
from
your-
now,
you don't put them on.
I don't, not 2 years from now, because come on.
No, your stance on referrals, let's say you're door knocking or cold calling and somebody says, yeah, I'm not looking to sell or buy a house, but I'm looking to buy an office building or a retail. How do you
I'd
handle
refer
that?
it to you. That's what I do.
Take it. Yeah.
Did you answer that correctly?
Let's self-promotion here.
Wow, can I see this up any better?
Fine, Doug. Fine.
That's a softball.
What service do you use for your cold call?
I don't use a service. I just go through a list that I do. I buy a list like, you know, I just buy a list and I cold call. I don't use the dialers. I just do it myself. Because that way I have I do everything with paper. I don't even have a CRM or anything.
Where do you buy it?
Yeah, I just do everything paper.
6 years.
Yeah.
Where do you get the phone, find your phone list, right?
What? I do title companies and then they provide it.
So that's circle calling? Are you doing any distress calling or anything like that, or is it just?
It matters. Sometimes I'm into, because I buy homes cash. So I'd say 15 of the houses I sell a year are homes I own. So I always call on people that are in distress, like, hey, I would like to buy your house. And they go, I want top dollar. I go, hey, I can sell it for you. So it's about, you can get any list you want. You just have to do it. Most people won't do it. As my favorite saying is, everyone gets ready to get ready. No one does shit.
So, hey Doug,
Yeah.
can you just reiterate to them, because I think sometimes people miss the word new contacts each day.
That's a new contact is someone you've never talked to.
Yeah.
And
So that's a-
and the best thing is you go, I've never sold a house. Well, we have. Go around the neighborhood that we sold. Oh, we got a new listing. You can cold call, go, hey, we just got a new listing. We're gonna have an open house Sunday. Do you want to go see it before the open house? I can show it to you. Yeah, there's so many things you can say.
To that point, I didn't know a realtor in Tampa Valley said the best prospecting right now is pickleball.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I mean, prospecting is great, whatever you do, as long as it's somebody new. You can't tell your friend that you're having beers with every time, hey, you're gonna sell your house. It has to be someone new. All right, anything else? I'm good? Okay.
I'm sure over 36 years you've amassed a lot of contacts, so how do you keep all your contacts organized? If you have a-
I'm absolutely horrible. I just do a mail out to them once a month. If I had to do my whole career over again, it would be completely different. But I'm one of those people that I'm a Mike Ferry guy. And if someone's thinking about buying or selling today, those are the only people. Every day I look, I think about who's buying or selling, and I contact those people first because I want money. And those are the people who are going to pay me immediately. And that's what we're here for. I guarantee the guy at McDonald's is flipping the burger right now and serving that burger today. They're not going, hey, this burger is going to be great in 2 months. No, it's about now. Most businesses are about now, except our business where we're going to get ready to do something. So, all right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Doug Pitt.
Way to plug yourself, so to speak.
We're like, oh wow, we just came up here especially for that. Gotta love Scotty. All right, thank you. Yeah, so just get out there and have the conversation. Really, truly. It's not rocket science. Jonathan, you want to plug your class? It's Jonathan's class. You like that? Jonathan's class. Okay.
Hey everybody, so my name's Jonathan. I actually do retail, net lease, commercial side. But during COVID, when retail kind of went in the toilet, I decided to do some health and life insurance like on the side. And now I just kind of do it for fun. I speak Spanish, so I help a lot of the Latin community because they don't get a lot of information. But I've found recently I've been helping a lot of my friends and family, and it's a lot of things that they don't know about. And just from being in it, I've been able to kind of figure out a few tricks and a few other things that could be helpful. So yeah, on Thursday in 2 weeks, I'm just gonna have a little something. You could come. I'll teach about some different life insurance policies like IULs and stuff, which have been really helpful, and answer any questions. So just want to let everybody know.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, we just have a couple more things to do. I'm gonna have Scott come up, but, thank you again for being here for the extended kickoff 2024 meeting. Okay, so we have a bunch of anniversaries, so thank you so much. Oh, me, happy anniversary, 10 years. Mike, Phyllis, Jacobus, Diane, Ida, Nikki, and Rob. Let's see, what do we have? Mayron, Lauren, Joey, Scott. Oh, Mika. Okay, Mika has been here for a year. Steve Sachs a year. Katie, Ozzy, and Dijon. Huh? It popped up. Yay! Okay, we'll have to look at that. All right. Happy anniversary. And then happy birthday to all the January babies. Oh, Doug Pitts he's a January baby too, and Emilio, who's all on here? That's in the house. What was that? And Monica. Matt just had his birthday, so happy birthday to all of you. And then look at everybody that closed December 2023 to end the year. So congratulations to all of you. You know, we had a good month in December. When I was in November looking at December projections, I was like, a little scared, but we we ended great. So congratulations to each and every one of you. And happy so you all are getting 100%. So congratulations to you. And then Mr. Lee Black. Massive closings, the last month of the year, actually the last 2 months. So congratulations to Lee.
It was 3.
Yeah, he had a lot. So that was awesome. And thank you again to Calabasas Escrow for doing a great job. And thank you for all your support. We've been getting a lot of great new escrows. So really appreciate everything because that just really helps the office out tremendously. All right. Thank you, Danielle, for breakfast. I know you have a couple things that you want to say, so come on down.
Happy New Year, everybody. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm just really excited because now you are a CREST office, and the CREST plan is amazing. It gives you that additional protection for you and your clients. And one thing that I just want to say, home warranty is not the answer for everything, but it is an added peace of mind. And not all home warranties are the same, and what makes a difference is the rep, and I love being part of this family. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, it's Danielle G at ORHP, and I'm always here for you.
Thank you. Yes, she is. Love being in business with you. Thank you. Okay, it's PRMG time. Who is Scott? You guys have met him once before, but this is Scott.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see everybody. Last time we were together, we were partying at the KW Calabasas party. That was fun. A lot of fun. So I thought I'd present today and talk about, get to know a little bit about me, right? So I think we do business with people we know, like, and trust. And so I want you to get to know who I am a little bit. So I'm gonna use this little thing. That worked perfect. Oh, there's me. All right. So yeah, so I grew up in Southern California. I've been out here. I grew up in Hacienda Heights, then moved to Santa Cruz, where I reside now. I've been doing mortgages since 2002, and I travel. I love traveling, seeing the world. I'm a big Dodgers, Raiders. All right, Raiders, Lakers, and Kings fans. So let's see. Okay. Now this is my family. So my wife and I are foster parents. So we don't have any kids of our own. We have 3 incredible kids at our house right now, and those are them up there. So that is my daughter Scarlett. There's my 18-year-old Anna, who just completed the Explorer program. for the sheriff, so, and then there's her sister Amelia, who we see every couple weeks. And then there's my son Nathaniel and some funny pictures of my sisters and brothers and maybe with my hair all weirded out. So that's me. Oh, we're big animal lovers. I love animals. My wife has got a foster animal rescue. So these are two of our dogs. And yes, that is a pet snail that we have. There's a whole story to that. You guys can ask me later about that story. Escargot. Yes. So this is something that's near and dear to us, and I always like to share with everybody, even our clients. And it's our code of conduct and our purpose. And really, this is something that my business partner Larry and I created about 6 years ago. We wanted something that was our barometer, it was our guiding principle. And so we created our purpose, and then really we created our code of conduct as a way of like being accountable to each other, right? And then as well to our clients. And so we share this with every client, and so let's get into, oh, there's my work family. There it is. So there's Larry, there's John, my guy in the inside office, and then there's Rick, who was at the party with us. And there's a bunch of others at the office. But there's our board of ambassadors. We can touch on that. So let me just kind of go. So prospecting. So Doug was talking about prospecting. I totally agree. I'm a huge prospector. Okay. So the way I prospect is a little different. So I used to cold call. I still every once in a while cold call. But what I do are events. I love doing events. So I do community events. I do first-time homebuyer events, which I have changed the first-time homebuyer seminar name because not very exciting, to a renter's revolution, which is ending the chapter of paying rent, turning the page to home ownership, which sounds more exciting, I think. And we actually have one January 20th. So I've actually mapped out 6 this year. Now they are in Santa Cruz. However, if there's interest, I would absolutely do one out here for you guys. But Calabasas, does everyone remember that dream for all the I came out, it was here for a minute, gone the next, right? So they're launching details out this month. We actually have Calabasas coming to my office and speaking directly about the nuances to the new program that launches out in March. So if you guys want to come, you're welcome to come. We'd love to have you. I'm going to give away a TV. It's going to be a big old party. So, but Calabasas is going to come and talk about all the nuances. So the way I do business is I do events. So one of them is obviously our Renters Revolution. And then also I do pop buys, which by the way, I have a ton. If you guys, somebody guys do pop buys at all? Perfect. So I created a calendar as well as a bunch of little sayings that you guys could have if everybody wants one. I have them up here. But pop buys are a way I stay in front of my past clients, future clients, all that kind of stuff. So I figured today I was going to kind of bring a bunch of different things to maybe hit on something you would need or something Steve you would need, right? Instead of coming here with just programs, I wanted to come with ways to generate business because that's what I think is important. So, because we should all be able to do programs. So very important. So if you haven't heard, credit report fees are changing again this year. So to give you context, 2 years ago, the credit report fees were about $60. Okay. Last year, they went up to about $150. This year, they're $250 for a credit report fee. Okay. Now, what's happening here is industry-wide, we're all trying to figure out how we're going to take that cost, right? Because the reality is, it's about a 1 in 5 ratio. That 1 out of 5 credit reports we run, 1 actually will close. Okay. So that's $250 every single time for a deal that doesn't close. All right. So how are we handling this as an industry? Everyone's go ahead.
How did credit reports change from like $30 or $40 to $250?
Yeah, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax realized that they weren't making enough money, so they decided to charge. And then they sell that, they double dip and triple dip into selling that to other lenders who do calling on what's called trigger fees. So every time a hard inquiry happens, for most people who haven't opted out, they'll get phone calls. You probably had clients get phone calls by like 30 different people when a hard inquiry happened. That's because Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax sold their information to other lenders. Okay, so what we are doing is soft pull credit reports. So what's cool about that is that there are no trigger leads, there are no phone calls. They are lower in cost. So we're all still figuring out. I'm just prepping you that there might be a scenario where you're gonna have a client this year and they're gonna go, hey, I just told I have to pay $100 to get my credit report ran before my pre-approval. It's a thing. So some are charging as low as 60, some are charging as upwards of 250, either in an application fee, credit report fee. So changes are coming. So hasn't been a norm for us to say, hey, I'm gonna pay an application fee to get approval done, but it's going to start happening this year.
Can you
Some
do
are gonna-
underwriting from a softball?
What's that?
Can you do underwriting from a
Yes,
softball?
we can. So all the way almost to closure. So yeah, so I just want to prep you for it so you guys can start getting those thoughts in. So if you're not working with us or them, I mean, whoever you're working with, figure out what that looks like because it's going to start changing. And then, parties. So yeah, I'm a big party guy. So I've got my events this year. I've got a miniature golf tournament that I'm doing up in Santa Clarita. I'm renting out a movie theater for Deadpool. We do pie giveaways and picks with Santa. And then I'm doing a grand opening. So one of the things I heard earlier from Doug was, or from some, is where do I get all those new leads? Where do I get those contacts? I'm new to the business. Where do I go create my sphere of people that I can go to? So I never understood it why real estate agents didn't do grand openings. Like if you own a business, if you own a restaurant, you would go do a grand opening. What? But real estate agents don't do that. I don't understand. So last year we did 3. And so what we did was that agent invited all of her people in her life. And we had a little survey that they had to fill out. And one of the questions was, who do you know that I should know? Right? And so they were able to develop their sphere of influence by doing one event. And so now they have people they can go to after the event and start asking, hey, who do you refer for this? Who do you recommend for this? So we're doing Keller Williams agent up in Santa Clarita is doing her grand opening on February 29th. It is her 1 year. So yeah, so grand openings is another way to generate some business. So I'm all about finding ways to generate business. That's it. That's my contact information. If anybody wants to know anything more about me, but hopefully it was short, sweet,
Yep.
under time, perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Thank
That was
you
it.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Welcome.
Okay, Miss Cindy, did you have any, couple updates?
Yep. Okay, so, like I mentioned before, I'm a big podcast listener. So I was listening to one of my faves recently, and she said, oh, I'm gonna do, my perspective on 2024. And I go, okay, I'm gonna get all this minutia, studying in great detail, all the things that are supposed to happen that aren't gonna happen, and I was so uninterested. But as it turned out, she's actually, it's a podcast called Afford Anything, Paula Plant. She's a financial journalist. So she reported like a reporter, based on facts only. I found some good insights in there, so I'm gonna share them. So, it's widely expected that the Fed is gonna drop rates, and it's gonna happen in the first half. So they've actually been going down. We're about 9 weeks into a downward trend in rates right now. And as the rates decline, there are gonna be more buyers in the market. So there's great pent up energy out there, people waiting to buy, wanting to buy. But the rates have been killing them, and they haven't all been able to qualify, frankly. It's been really hard qualifying people in a lot of cases, but that is gonna come out very shortly. Interestingly, she said that the upward pressure of home buying is going to cause the home prices to either go up or certainly stay where they are, whereas normally they might have gone down at this point, but they're not, probably not going to, because we are several million units short of housing. And it's gonna take a long time for that gap to close. So, there's gonna be a lot of buyers and they're gonna drive the price of homes up most likely. And so her advice, she said, if you're thinking about buying, and if it fits your budget, do not wait, do it now. Because this is gonna be your chance. Let's see. Then she said, what about sellers? So there might be an argument for sellers to wait and see if their house price value goes up. But there's just no telling because, you know, we can't predict anything anymore with any real certainty or confidence. So as far as selling goes, that's, you know, probably not a good idea to wait. The Fed actually doesn't make any plans. They're the ones who are kind of pulling the strings for everybody. And they don't plan ahead that they're gonna raise rates, they're gonna lower rates or what have you. They wait and see what's happening, and almost on live time, they study the numbers. And by the way, there's a lot of numbers coming out this week, so there's probably gonna be some sort of movement going on. But they study the numbers and right at the moment, they make their decision whether they're gonna move. So it's really hard to say what's the best thing for a seller to do. However, she gave these stats, which are pretty startling. 91.8% of homeowners have a rate less than 6%. 82.4% of those have a rate less than 5%. The national average is 4.62%, which is actually higher than yes, but so those people are not likely to move until rates are relatively close. They're not going to move to go into an 8. So they might very well move to go into a 5. I personally think that the 5s is the magic number to be to get people really interested in moving. But we're right now right about 6.5-ish. Maybe 7, depending on your credit, you know, but 6.5-ish is where we are right now. And if they can come down even a little bit more to like 6, then that'll probably cause some more comfort levels. People who have just need to do something are maybe more likely to do that. She did mention too that 42% of homeowners are free and clear, and they're not subject to the lock-in effect at all. And they're baby boomers for the most part. And the other thing that baby boomers have that nobody else does is they got Prop 19 to where if they wanted to move, they can take their tax basis with them. So baby boomers could certainly potentially sell their home, buy, you know, somewhere else, downsize, move, do whatever move they needed to do, and pay cash and be good to go. So if it were me, I'd be focusing a lot on them. And then she ended with advice for investors. So as far as investors go, people are being very clever and taking their existing property and finding ways to make better use of it. So if they can partition off a section of it with an outside entrance and make another small unit in an existing home, or of course adding ADUs or what have you, if they can somehow either add to their property or add to the density of the units that they have, then they could both be providing a great service to help with the shortage of housing, and it could be very profitable. So those are the kind of words of wisdom that I took as, okay, there's hope for this year. There's probably going to be some opportunities, but it's also very important for us to realize and to educate people as we talk to them about what those opportunities are. So I think there's a lot of boomers who don't understand Prop 19, who need to know that they can move without having to pay higher property taxes. There are, boomers can also get reverse mortgages if they feel like they need to take on new mortgage, but don't want to actually make payments. There's opportunities there, and, if people want to move and keep their home as investment property, and maybe even potentially parse it out into, additional units within that home, then that's another way that they can both move and work money at the same time. That's all I got for you.
Fabuloso, appreciate it. Okay, just a couple housekeeping things, Oh, and, Steve Sachs has an announcement as well. So there's a command con, this is what I mentioned to you yesterday. There is at the Encino Market Center on the end of the month. There's just unlocking the full potential in 4 simple steps, because some of you use command, some of you are like, what is command? And then other people are like, no, I don't want to use it. Wherever you are on it, just remember command is always, it's fluid. Always, you can't just go learn command, everything, it's constantly changing, it's constantly evolving, it's constantly growing. So, but the region has put together this particular whatchamacallit,